What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you one of the best and most slept on running plays in Madden 19. Now, this run play in particular I think gets overlooked because for many years in Madden it was not a very good run play. It was almost useless, and every once in a while it winds up working. It worked really well last year, and not many people really used it last year either, but for, like I said, a long time, this run really wasn't very useful, so people overlook it and don't even try it out. And the run I'm talking about is the fullback fake halfback toss, or in some playbooks it might be called the fullback fake halfback flip. Now, most playbooks have some variation of this in I form. Some of them have it in I form slot flex, some of them have it out of I form pro. Some have it out of I form wing. Like, let's see, this playbook might have it in both. It doesn't actually, but most playbooks have it in one of their I forms. Now, in my opinion, it is the best out of the I form slot flex, and that's because you have two wide receivers over there that become lead blockers for you. Whereas if you run out of I form wing, you only have one wide receiver. If you run it out of I form pro, again, you only have one wide receiver over there. Now, you can, if you were to run it out of I form pro, for example, you could motion over your other wide receiver to give it that look, so that's something you could do. But it's always better to have two wide receivers over there because that's just better blocking for you. Now, the playbook I'm in right now in particular is the Cardinals playbook. So yeah, but the run works out of every I form that it's in, but it's definitely the best when you have the dual wide receivers. So the reason this is so good is because the defense pretty much always bites on the fullback fake for the most part. Every once in a while they'll play the running back, but it's very rare. You see how Justin Houston just went to the inside there, and look at the blocking, how it holds up, and we just got a huge run. I'm going to go to the replay because I want to just show you, if you missed it, what happened to Justin Houston here. And Justin Houston's a really, really good edge defender. He's smart, good play recognition type of guy. He bites hard on the fake. Like, look how he shoots to the inside, and look how the linebackers in the middle of the field kind of like pinch inside as well. And then, I mean, it's nothing but daylight out here. The only thing that can go wrong is if one of these guys block sheds our wide receiver, which doesn't happen too much after the patch from October. The blocking on the run is just very good now, especially from wide receivers. So you're typically going to have that type of success on the outside. Now, you see there, he contained the edge. We probably should have tried to cut that back up the middle, but typically they're not going to contain the edge. You see, again, he bites to the inside. Our blocking holds up, and we get about 7 yards. This run, in my experience, is usually good for about 5 yards the majority of the time you run it, which is solid. Anytime you're getting 5+ yards a carry, I mean, you're doing good. Right there, we got about 9. Probably could have got more, but I didn't, that wasn't the best run stick by me. Now, also keep in mind, if they give us a look like this where, it's a 3-down line and it's kind of spread, you might want to try to run it up the middle. That's something else you can do as well. Just because if they're going to give you that look, if they're kind of spreading you out and trying to stop the outside run, then take the easy 4 to 5 yards up the middle, by all means. But again, I mean, now you see, our wide receiver did a terrible job at blocking there, and we still got about 6 yards. Emmanuel Sanders just completely went past his guy here. Or was that Sutton? Yeah, Sutton, I mean, he got nobody. He was kind of like keying in on the safety, I guess, and then at the last second he said, oh, I should actually probably block this guy. So he didn't even get blocked, and we still were able to get about 5 to 6 yards. So even when your blocking isn't amazing, I mean, you still are going to be in pretty good shape. You see, again, Justin Houston bites inside, and then when you're in the open field, I mean, I say it in a ton of my videos, I mean, it is just so easy to fake people out. It's been like that for a couple years. So this is one of your worst case scenarios right here, okay? Again, watch. Justin Houston, I mean, bites hard to the inside, on the outside. You see him there? He bites so hard to the inside. He's out of position. He's no good. Now here, Emmanuel Sanders, number 10, he gets the guy that's kind of down in the box. So now Sutton has to make a choice. He can only take one of these guys. And he probably should have took the safety in this case, but he didn't. He goes to the outside guy. So this is our worst case scenario. We have a free safety running at us, unblocked. But it's so easy to fake these guys out. Worst case scenario here is we would have got about a yard. That's our worst case, which not the worst thing in the world, but he's so easy to fake out that, look, one juke and then a 1-yard gain turned into a 9-yard gain. So even a lot of times in your worst case scenario, like right there, again, Justin Houston, every once in a while, that outside guy will contain the edge, and you might lose a yard. But other than that, your worst case scenario is just kind of having a free rusher at you. And in that case, I mean, again, look, it's super easy to fake these guys out. That's Eric Berry there, one of the best safeties in the game. Super easy to fake these guys out. But I mean, look, again, bad block there from Sutton. Terrible block. He got block shedded immediately, still got 5 yards. I mean, it is just an extremely consistent run. Extremely consistent. Now, not something I would suggest spamming, because if you run this a bunch of times, then people are going to, you know, start favoring the outside very heavy. But if they do that, then you can start running up the middle as well. So keep that in mind. And something else you're going to want to do with this is you're going to actually want to run the fullback dive every once in a while to keep them honest. So, you know, let's say, you know, it's a 3rd and 1, you run a fullback dive, you get a first down. Maybe later in the game, it's a 4th and inches or something, you run a fullback dive, you get a first down. Next time you're in that short yardage situation, you come out in this, they're expecting the fullback dive heavy. You might break it to the outside for a touchdown. That's what I like about this type of run. This isn't a type of run that I pull out or would pull out all game long, unless my opponent just clearly can't stop it. This is a run that I pull out when I'm, you know, trying to get that big play when it's unexpected. Another thing that's good about this run is this is actually a pretty good run to go to, you know, when you're inside the red zone. It's a good run to pull out to score with, because all you need is the blocking to just hold up, and you're going to score. Now there, that was goal line, of course. Don't run it versus goal line, because typically goal line's going to kind of, you know, going to stop you. Now right here, again, if they're giving me a look like this, I didn't mean to do that at all. I meant to run up the middle. If they give me a look like that, I'm running up the middle. I'm like, again, right here. See, like, if they give me this, I'm running up the middle, because if they're going to give me the middle like that, I'm taking that easy every time. But if they give me like a typical look that you would get in the red zone where more guys are in the box, something more like this, then I'm going to the outside. And again, I mean, this is an easy way to get a touchdown inside the red zone. Now, again, once you pull it out one time, you know, it's not going to have, at least in the red zone, it's not going to have the same effect. But it's good when you get to the red zone that one time. It's kind of like not a free touchdown, but it's you get that one surprise element out of them. So it's so hard to score at this point of the field that, yes, you might only be able to use it once, and then the next time you come out in this, they're going to be expecting it. But at least that's one more touchdown than you would have had. Now again, right here, if they give me a look like this, again, I'm just running up the middle with a look like that, because if they're gonna give me something that's soft, then I'm taking my chances up the middle. But otherwise, you know, I'm going outside. Again, look, in the red zone, the blocking holds up very well, and we're going in untouched. So all in all, definitely a very good run. Use it in the red zone. You can pull it out anywhere on the field, like I said. Definitely mix the fullback dive in with it, because if you mix the fullback dive in, then it makes it that much harder to defend. So, like, for instance, let's see if we should have a fullback dive. Yeah, so we have a fullback dive. So again, I mean, the fullback dive is not like a crazy run, but it's usually good for 1 to 2 yards most times you run it. So, you know, you get like in a situation like this, I mean, there we broke the plane on that one. We got about 5 yards, but you know, short yardage situations, your first couple of short yardage plays, come out in the fullback dive. You'll usually get the first down, because, I mean, look how consistent the fullback dive is, especially out of this formation, because the fullback's actually kind of more in an upright position instead of having his hand planted in the ground, so this is even better. You do this a couple times, and then what's going to happen is, you know, next time you come out in short yardage, they're going to be pinching, you know, they're going to be bringing guys into the box, like, no, I'm about to shoot this gap on the fullback dive, and then you're going to have the outside wide open. If your wide receivers give you a good block, you're liable to go for a touchdown. So you want to mix in both. You want to use this in the red zone. And then also another, like, just bit of a pro tip. If you want to make this even better, like if you're in a situation where you're really all in on the run, you can actually come over here and sub out your wide receivers, and you can put tight ends out here. Now, why would you put tight ends out here? Maybe some of you are asking, because their run blocking is way better than wide receivers. So whereas for a wide receiver, a good run block rating would be, you know, in the mid-50s, low 60s, but most tight ends are going to have run blocking in, you know, the mid-70s, high 70s, sometimes even in the 80s, which means if those wide receivers are holding off the cornerbacks and safeties, tight ends are definitely going to hold them off. They're very rarely going to get block shedded. So this really is just, this run can do a lot for you if you use it the right way. It can get you big yards, it can get you touchdowns where it's hard to score, and if you mix in the fullback dive and things like that, you can really make it tough for your opponent in crucial situations where you need to get that first down, you need to get that touchdown. You can fake them out and really, you know, do a lot with this run. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.